aging is something every living being must face. Yet, the reality of what it truly means to grow older is rarely spoken about openly. Society paints a picture full of smiles, celebrations, and wisdom gained with time. But beneath this surface lies a harsher truth that we often ignore or hide from. The problem is that when we think about aging, we want to believe only in the pleasant parts. We want to imagine a gentle journey where every wrinkle tells a happy story. But the truth is more complex. It carries pain, loss, fear, and quiet moments of loneliness that no one talks about. And that silence leaves many feeling isolated and unprepared when those realities begin to touch their lives. The first part of the problem is denial. From a young age, we are told to fear aging, to avoid it, or to fight against it with creams, surgeries, or endless distractions. We create an illusion that time can be paused or reversed. The truth is, it cannot. Every day that passes moves us closer to a body and mind that change in ways that are sometimes hard to accept. This creates a gap between what we expect and what actually happens. When the mirror shows lines and the body no longer moves as easily, it can feel like a betrayal. We were never warned about the silent grief that comes with those changes. Instead, we are left to face them alone. This makes the journey not just physical, but deeply emotional. Aging is also a process of loss. We lose strength, agility, and sometimes independence. We lose people we love, the roles we once played, and even parts of our identity. The world changes around us too. The places we once knew become unfamiliar, and the speed of life feels different. It can feel like a slow shrinking away from the center of things. This loss is not always visible or spoken about. It lives in quiet moments when the phone does not ring or when an invitation never comes. It is a loss of presence, and that can hurt more than any physical pain. It makes us question our value, our purpose, and where we belong. But the harshest truth about aging might be the feeling of invisibility. Society tends to celebrate youth and beauty, often leaving older people on the sidelines. This invisibility can make us feel less important, like we no longer matter. It is a pain that cuts deeper than wrinkles or aches because it touches the soul. Being unseen is a kind of loneliness that many experience. It is not just about being physically alone, but about being ignored, unheard, or dismissed. This experience is shared by many but discussed by few. The silence around it can make the feeling even heavier, as if aging is a shame to hide rather than a part of life to embrace. The fear of this invisibility and loss drives many to hide the signs of aging. We cover our grey hair, tighten our skin, and avoid talking about the changes we feel inside. But hiding does not stop time. It only creates a barrier between our true selves and the world. The longer we deny what is happening, the harder it becomes to accept it later. Acceptance is not about giving up. It is about seeing the truth without fear and finding peace within it. When we allow ourselves to feel the pain and the fear, we can also find strength and clarity. The question is, how do we begin to face what no one talks about? It starts with honesty. We need to look at aging as it is, not as we wish it to be. This means recognizing the aches, the fatigue, the moments of forgetfulness, and the sadness that can come with the passing years. It also means acknowledging the emotional toll of seeing the world change around us, and the roles we once held shift or disappear. Being honest with ourselves is difficult because it breaks the stories we tell about endless youth or eternal strength. But it is necessary if we want to live fully in the present and prepare for what lies ahead. Once honesty is embraced, we can begin to see aging not just as loss, but as transformation. The body may weaken, but the mind and heart can grow in ways that youth cannot reach. We gain perspective from the years lived. We understand pain, joy, and resilience on a deeper level. This transformation invites us to redefine what matters most. It pushes us to focus on connection, meaning, and the moments that bring peace rather than chasing fleeting pleasures or appearances. It asks us to find beauty not in the mirror, but in the life we have lived and continue to live. This transformation is not easy. It demands courage and vulnerability. It requires facing fears we might have buried for years and accepting that some things will never be the same again. But it also offers a chance for freedom. When we stop fighting the inevitable, we free ourselves from the exhaustion of pretending. We create space to experience life with authenticity and grace. This is where the deepest lessons of aging lie, not in the battles against time, but in the surrender to what is real. There is also a deep connection between aging and time. As we grow older, time feels different. The future we once imagined seems shorter, and the past grows larger. This shift can bring sadness, but also urgency. We start to see what truly matters because there is less time to waste. This awareness can awaken a desire to live more fully and to say yes to what brings meaning. It can deepen relationships and open the heart in unexpected ways. The pressure of time, while heavy, can also be a powerful teacher. Still, many are unprepared for the emotional weight of this realization. The mix of gratitude and grief, hope and fear, can feel overwhelming. The loneliness that comes with facing these feelings alone is why so many avoid the truth about aging. But avoidance only increases suffering. When we open ourselves to the full range of emotions, we create a path toward healing. We allow others to see us and connect on a real level. And in this shared vulnerability, we find strength. Aging also forces us to confront our mortality. This is the hardest truth of all. No matter how much we try to deny it, time moves forward and life will end. Facing this reality can be terrifying. It makes us question the meaning of everything we have done and everything we hope to do. But it also invites us to live with intention. When we accept mortality, we begin to see life as precious and fragile. This perspective can change how we treat ourselves and others. It can inspire us to live with kindness, forgiveness, and love. In this way, the truth about aging is not only harsh, but also deeply human. What aging really looks like is a journey through light and shadow. It is a path filled with joy and pain, loss and discovery, fear and hope. It is not a story of decline alone, but a complex dance between holding on and letting go. The silence around this journey leaves many feeling isolated. But by speaking the truth openly, we can create a space for connection and understanding. We can remind each other that no one is alone in this experience, that aging is part of what it means to be alive. The challenge is to change how we see aging. Instead of a curse or a problem to fix, it can become a teacher and a companion. This shift starts within each of us when we choose to face the truth rather than hide from it. It means listening to the quiet voices of our bodies and hearts, even when they bring discomfort. It means allowing ourselves to feel the full range of emotions that come with growing older. This emotional honesty can lead to a life lived with greater authenticity and meaning. Imagine a world where aging is not feared but embraced, where stories of struggle and strength are shared openly and the invisible becomes visible, where older people are seen not as burdens or shadows, but as vital parts of the community. Such a world would honor the truth of aging without shame or denial. It would welcome the complexity and beauty of this natural process. And it would offer a model of aging that is realistic, compassionate, and deeply human. In the end, aging is a journey we all share. The truth about it may be harsh, but it is also an invitation. An invitation to live fully, to love deeply, and to find peace with what is. When we stop pretending and start speaking honestly, we create a space for healing and connection. We remind ourselves and others that aging is not just about losing youth, but about gaining a deeper understanding of life itself. This is the truth no one talks about, but everyone needs to hear. So if you find yourself struggling with the reality of growing older, know that you are not alone. Your feelings are real and valid. It is okay to feel sadness, fear, and frustration. But also know that there is strength in acceptance and freedom in honesty. Aging will bring changes you cannot control, but it will also bring moments of clarity and grace. By facing what no one says, you open the door to a life lived with courage and truth. This is what aging really looks like. Not just the surface you see in magazines or on screens, but the full experience beneath. It is raw, emotional, and sometimes difficult. But it is also real and meaningful. When we speak this truth openly, we break the silence that keeps us isolated. We build a community of shared understanding and compassion, and we find a way to grow old with dignity and hope. The truth about aging is a quiet revolution. It asks us to change how we think, feel, and live. To stop fearing what comes with time and to start embracing it as part of our story. This change will not happen overnight, but each honest conversation, each shared experience moves us closer. Together we can rewrite the narrative of aging from one of fear and denial to one of acceptance and wisdom. This is the gift of truth, and it is the path forward for all of us. The gap between generations often feels wide, filled with different lifestyles, values, and ideas about how the world should be. But behind that gap is something deeper and often ignored. A chance to learn, a chance to grow. The problem is, in many parts of the world, youth is celebrated while old age is overlooked. The voices of older generations are often seen as outdated or irrelevant, dismissed in favor of trends, speed, and innovation. Yet this dismissal hides something powerful. The truth is, older generations carry stories and lessons shaped by decades of experience. And those lessons are not just useful, they are essential. Many young people move through life feeling rushed, unsure, or pressured to succeed quickly. They face a world full of distractions, choices, and noise. In that storm, it is easy to forget the value of patience, resilience, and quiet strength. But older generations know something youth often overlook. That life does not always reward speed. That some things take time. That growth comes not only from chasing goals, but from learning how to endure loss, forgive deeply, and keep going when life does not go as planned. These are not lessons found in books or online videos. They are learned through living, through falling, failing, and rising again. Older people understand the weight of time. They know how precious a moment can be and how easily it can slip away. From them, youth can learn to slow down, to stop chasing everything all at once, to pay attention to the present. That joy is not always found in achievement, but often in the simple moments that pass quietly. Like listening without judgment, sitting in silence, holding someone's hand without needing to fix anything. These are the soft skills of life, and they are just as important as ambition or intelligence. There is also wisdom in how older generations face change. They have lived through uncertainty, war, loss, and renewal. They know how to adapt when the world shifts suddenly. They have learned to let go of what they cannot control and focus on what truly matters. That perspective is something youth can carry with them through their own storms. It teaches humility, it teaches strength, and it reminds us all that no matter how much the world evolves, some values remain constant. Kindness, loyalty, courage, honesty. One of the most overlooked lessons is the value of listening. Older people often want to share their stories, not to control, but to connect. Youth can gain so much by simply asking questions and listening with openness. Not every answer will be perfect. But in that exchange, something beautiful happens. A thread is formed between past and future, between what was and what could be. And in that thread lies the wisdom to live a life that is not just full, but meaningful. What youth can learn from older generations is not about doing things the old way. It is about seeing life through a lens shaped by time. By honoring those lessons, we build a world that respects experience and invites growth, not just for the young, but for all.